Good morning, friends. And thank you for joining us here at Journey Home Meditation for the Morning Sit. It is really good to be here today. Let's get our cup of tea this morning. I hope you all are well as we settle in for these few moments that we share together, a few mornings out of the week. I want to just enjoy just a few pauses between words. Sometimes I think I forget to check in on all of the ways in which I am experiencing life right now. So I forget to check in on my physical body and see where I'm holding any tension, or sometimes I forget to give space for some thoughts that, maybe aren't the most comfortable thoughts, but they're there. And I definitely either forget or intentionally ignore emotional states at times. Now, this isn't something I do often, but it is something that I do. And I think it's probably something that a lot of us do. Um, we've been sort of raised in a world of compartmentalization where it's appropriate in some places and not appropriate in others, and where you are appropriate in some places and not appropriate in others. And we have all of these delineations as to where we are allowed to be, what we are allowed to feel. But we fight like hell for the right to say whatever we want to say. And we assume that that's free speech. We make the assumption without any knowledge of what we're feeling, where we're coming from, essentially in that way. We don't give space for us to recognize who we are in that moment. We don't always give space to recognize the way that we are being influenced by our feelings, the feeling of our body, our economic needs, our environmental situation, the political climate, the media that we participate in, the culture that we are cultivated within. We don't stop for just a moment and pause and think how maybe the next words that come out of my mouth are not necessarily mine. And they're not necessarily even what is important to me. And they're not even necessarily what I believe in any moment. They might just be a reaction in this moment. But we have been trained since childhood in the US to believe that free speech is the cornerstone of a free people. But how do we even know what free speech is if we are unaware of who we are in any moment? If we are living day to day at the whims and mercy of traumatic reactions, if we are consistently faced with manipulations from outside of ourselves, things that are intentionally created and crafted to manipulate the way that you think and feel and behave. And this doesn't have to enter into a grand conspiracy. This is simply the way that we can understand most, or at least a large part, of human communication. If I am not being honest, I'm going to believe that who I think I am is who I am, and who I think you are is who you are, and there are these strict rules and regulations that we have to abide by to stay within those lanes of who we agree each other are. Now, I don't know what sounds free or liberating within that construct, but how could a person who is not free have free speech? You can have free cable, to quote the Coup, Boots Riley, amazing hip hop artist and filmmaker. One of my favorite lines is, "We lack free speech, but we love free cable." But this is a theme that we see in a lot of places in our culture right now. The "I'm going to keep it real" theme, the keeping it 100. Uh, and people always preface something with, "Let me be honest with you," or "just being honest here." Uh, but then we end up spouting off some things that oftentimes create this division and separation between who I believe I am and who I believe you are. And when we really get to the core of this existence and the practices that have been passed on from teachers for thousands upon thousands of years, the core of the teachings all over the world is to understand our place within the oneness. There are plenty of teachings all over the world that begin this way. Understanding we are all one, we are all from the same material, we are all cut from the same spirit cloth, right? And then, of course, the manipulations begin, and it says, we're all one, but you're different than them. I'm different than you. We're all one. Ram Dass, famous quote. Yeah, we're all one, but that's my TV. Right. Yeah. So there's this already inherent schism in the values that we work from and the way that we interact and believe at any given moment. And people often ask me, like today, I'm even wearing a sweatshirt that says, my hoodie says, "Love everybody," right? Love everybody. And it's treated as if it's just a clever slogan or just a nice sentiment, but it's not about being nice at all. This isn't about giving warm fuzzies. This is literally the teachings of all of my greatest teachers. This is a simple directive. And there's instructions that come along with how to do this, how to love everybody. In many religious texts, in many uh, poems written by amazing poets throughout time, in song lyrics, uh, written into the fabric of the psychedelic experience is a recognition of oneness. Plant teachers tell us this. Psilocybin teachers tell us this. Deep meditations tell us this. And still it's seen as an idealistic thing to say. To love everybody is seen as idealistic. But here's the thing, we are confusing liking people and in informing my own bias and validating who I think I am with love. At its core, love everybody doesn't mean that we all hold hands and sing kumbaya. I would enjoy holding hands with more people. I would absolutely benefit from the intimacy of holding space with others in a way that was kind and accepting and uh, close. Yes, we would all benefit from that, but that's not what the directive of love everybody is about. It simply means to not reject anyone as something other than you. To not look at another and believe and treat this person as if they are different from you and do not belong. See, we live in a time and a culture that believes in the value of punishment and ostracization and othering people. And the only people that do this, the only people that find it very important to build walls and divisions and other people are people who are and have been made to be terrified. And I know what it is to be scared. So I'm not different than them. And I know what it is to be rejected. So I'm not different than them. So in all of this belief and division and all of our free speech as divided prisoners, we are lacking the ability to find our way into love. And love is a core element of existence. And it's always there, and it's always available. We just don't always know it. And if I'm behaving and acting and speaking in a way that does not know that I am love, that I am loved, and that I can be loving, then I don't know if I'm free. So I don't know if I have free speech in this sense. And I think that this practice that we share is part of the instruction manual that we receive from some teachers on how to get us into that place of liberation. How do we find our freedom? And the truth is that I think I find it at times, but I know when I don't. I know when I don't. And I am a part of a culture that dedicates a lot of time and energy and financial resources to profiting from each of us when we don't find our way into belonging and love. There are a lot of things that you can be sold to make you forget. There are a lot of ways that we can choose, if there is choice, to dissociate and compartmentalize and numb ourselves to the fear of not belonging. But really, love everybody is just as easy as flipping a switch. It's simply not rejecting anyone as something that you, too, cannot be. And when we recognize that we are within every possibility, and when we can love ourselves and forgive for the moments that we are forgetful, then it's flipping a switch. But we're fumbling around in a dark room, and we don't want to listen to each other to get directions as to where the switch is. So we're just stubbing our toes and brushing up against things and knocking things over until we find that switch on the wall and to turn the light on. But there are plenty of teachings and teachers. In fact, they're everywhere. Every person you meet is potentially the one who could help at least for the two of you to guide each other closer to that switch. But thanks for being here this morning. I just want to take a few moments of our day to begin with just a bit of quiet, calming, centering practices. If you're seated as I am with your feet flat to the floor, finding your meditation posture is simply finding that place of balance. Straightening your back as much as you can, opening the ribs and the front of the body to receive breath. All of this practice is a practice of breath. We are simply doing what we can to facilitate the practice of breathing. Relax the shoulders. Bring the shoulder blades together just slightly in the back. This opens the chest and opens the heart. Relax the jaw, the throat and neck. Relax your eyebrows and unfurl your forehead. Relax the face, the arms and the hands resting gently on your lap or in front of your belly. Relax your back. Relax your abdomen. Soften the belly so that it can fully receive the breath that's coming into the body as the diaphragm pulls downward. We breathe to the bottom of our spine. Breathing in through the nose, slowly and gently, and release. Find your breath and move into your rhythm. This is a moment to come into deep relationship with who you truly are. Follow the breath. It is very difficult to give what we do not know that we have. So in this practice, remind yourself that you are loved. Breathing in, I am loved. Breathing out, I am loving. And when you're ready, when you feel that place of belonging in your body, when you are connected to your breath all the way from the beginning to the end, you will know that you belong right now. And because you are temporary and I am temporary, because this is all always going away, I will love right now. I will love. And when I liberate my love from the confines of somebody else's beliefs and rule books, and when I unlimit myself, my love is expansive and it forces me to grow. And each time I love more, I shed a little bit of what makes me think I don't belong. Because just as everything is temporary and going away, transforming right before us, so too are my thoughts and my beliefs, and who I think I am. So thank you for being here on this journey home this morning, and thank you for being this amazing expression of spirit that you are. Thank you for showing me a part of me I didn't see before. And that makes me feel like home. And that makes me know that I belong. And you belong. And maybe we don't have to run away from our silence. Thank you for being here today. Hare Hare Hari Om.